Namostute Devi Pranamami Haripre Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so the topic is Six Goswamis of Vrindavan. So see this photo? It's all six Goswamis are staying under a tree in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So they are very special people. Now what are them? Let us see about. So who are the six Goswamis? They are the direct disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So last to last class we discussed about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So these Goswamis are the direct disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami first met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 1513 AD in Ramkeli. Then Raghunath Das Goswami met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 1515 AD at Shantipur. And so this is all 500 years before, all these Goswamis met Mahaprabhu first time. And Gopal Bhatt Goswami met in 1511 AD in Srirangam. And Raghunath Bhatt Goswami met in 1515 AD in Varanasi. There. So Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they were brothers. And Jiva Goswami, the son of their brother Anupam. So they are all three from one family. Then Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, they all met separately. Of course, for us, the most important personality for all ISKCON devotees to know is Srila Prabhupada. Yadi Prabhupada na hote, tabe ki hoite, e jivan hoite kise, nitai gorena apara karuna, ki dite sakala deshe. See, we are here just because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada is there, so therefore we are here in Krishna consciousness. So for us, for all ISKCON devotees, Srila Prabhupada is the main person. But Prabhupada only told us about the previous acharyas. And Prabhupada always said, I'm just repeating the words of the previous acharyas. So one devotee read Srila Prabhupada's writings and said, Prabhupada, this is quite similar to the Goswamis. It is not something new you are speaking, it's already there. Prabhupada said, that is a success. That we don't have to speak something new. We should speak whatever our previous acharyas have said. Krishna Kirtana Gana Naratan Paro Premamritam Bhonidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Pirya Pirya Karo Nirmisaro Pujato Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharo Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande, please repeat. Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. So in this prayer, he is praying to this Goswamis whom Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and Gopal Bhatt Goswami. So beautiful. And why we should know about them? If you see in the altar we have, so we always have the photo of this Goswamis. How many of you have seen that? The Goswami photos in the altar. Right? If you see the altar, there is photo. So we may wonder who are these people who are dressed in half clothes, means they are only having some towel and some gamcha, and the six people are standing. Who are they? Has anyone of you wondered about it? Yes, who are the six Goswamis? Yes. So, but and every time altar they will be there. The so those now this coming sessions, today's sessions, next week's sessions, and next to next week's sessions. There we're going to have this today's session we devote to this. The first session we devoted to the Panch Tattva, then second to Jagannath, and the third session, today's session, is for the six Goswamis. The next week's session will be devoted to complete life of all our acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So this full will be dedicated to them. Then the third session, the fifth one, will be dedicated to life of Srila Prabhupada. And then after that, we'll have disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And then 3 sessions for complete Krishna Lila that we'll be discussing about there. And these are very important personalities for us to know, because only when we have a connection to these personalities, we actually receive mercy of Krishna. Because we have not got Krishna as a sudden, right? Krishna performed 5,000 years before. We have got Krishna through these personalities. So they have given the process of bhakti what we are practicing. For example, how you should do Mangal Aarti, you should chant like this, you should do these activities to go to the spiritual world, right? So how do we know that? We should do this only. See, Bhagavad Gita, yes, speak about the principles. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Remember me, worship me. But how to worship Krishna? How to remember him? How to chant the holy names of the Lord? What are the Mangal Aarti principles we should follow? How a devotee advances in his spiritual life? Then how we know all those details? Is through all this acharyas, starting from Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri. If you remember, after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he stayed in Jagannath Puri. And after staying in Jagannath Puri, then Mahaprabhu wanted to Mahaprabhu wanted to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Now, for that, he wanted a center as Vrindavan. That Vrindavan, the glories of Vrindavan, goes to the whole world. Now, whole world goes to Vrindavan. But who actually originally bring out Vrindavan? Is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the 6 Goswamis. So what we know Vrindavan today is all because of the 6 Goswamis. The time they went to Vrindavan, it was a full jungle. There were only tigers, right? Only tigers. In those jungles, those Goswamis stayed and excavated all those places. So you can understand the contribution of this Goswamis, right? That how importantly those Goswamis have done the seva, due to which today we are very happily chanting and dancing in our spiritual life, right? So should we know, and more we know about them, more we know the process of Krishna consciousness, and more we know the higher process of spiritual life there. So you have come for the session, you're going to get something very special today, which are not spoken generally otherwise. Of course, in Vrindavan Yatra, those devotees who had gone last year, we discussed some of the things, but otherwise we may not discuss these things. So contribution of the Goswamis is excavating lost places in Vrindavan. So because after Lord Krishna, 4,500 years have been passed, and Vrindavan was like a jungle only. Nobody knew the pastime places of Krishna. So they have to excavate lost places in Vrindavan like Nidhivan, Seva Kund, they established Radha Kund, Sham Kund, then many places there, Barsana. So many places being discovered by the Goswami. Then they have to construct the temples. They constructed temples. They write books on devotion. Like I was telling, how do we know we should do Mangal Arti? Because Goswamis have written Nectar of Devotion, Nectar Instruction, and Bhaktivedanta Swati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, they gave us that program. They instituted that program. Then show the highest perfection of life, absorbed in the mode of gopis. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give Madhurya Ras, the ras, the mood, the loving Krishna in the mood of the gopis. Now, unless somebody show it how to do it, people will misunderstand it. Right or no? And many people misunderstand this. But somebody has to personally show that how it is possible, and this work was actually done by the Goswami. And writing books on devotion, showing the highest perfection of life, absorbed in the mood of the gopis, and then showing the renounced order of life. So now, first of all, we'll discuss the life of Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Jiva Goswami. The first time they met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Ramkeli, Malda. So I'll just give a background of them. They were actually born in Brahmana family, Gaudiya Saraswat family. Who? Sanatana Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami. And while they're born in Rup and born in this Goswami, in this Brahmana family, what had happened, Nawab Hussain Shah, 500 years back, Nawab Hussain Shah was a king of Bengal. So he told them, if you become my prime minister and home minister, I will not torture the Hindu community. Others, I will torture the Hindu community. So for the sake of the community, they actually became prime minister and home minister Nawab Hussain Shah. Nawab Hussain Shah gave them a name, Sakar Malik and Dabir Khas. Now they start writing letter to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We don't want to serve this Malecha king because he's doing so much atrocities. Then Mahaprabhu say, and we want to come and take your shelter. Mahaprabhu replied them, you work as a paramour. Just like if a woman has a paramour, Mahaprabhu gave an analogy. He just read a secret thing. Just as a if a wife has a paramour other than husband, she will does the work of the home so nicely that the husband doesn't get a doubt. The same way you perform your duties nicely, but keep your attention on Krishna. There. So Mahaprabhu told them not to leave their jobs or something, but while doing their duties, focus their mind on Krishna. Now Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan from Jagannath Puri. On the way, he came to Ramkeli, which is in West Bengal. And while Mahaprabhu came to Ramkeli, he was introducing Sankirtan to thousands of people. Even Nawab Hussain Shah was chained, but this Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, that time came to meet Mahaprabhu. You see, two people are coming to meet Mahaprabhu, and they surrendered their life to Mahaprabhu. And that time Mahaprabhu gave them the name Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, and Mahaprabhu said, now you can leave there. So what had happened, actually it was a very difficult service because this Nawab Hussain Shah was a very cruel ruler. In fact, he was attacking even the Hindu kings. So they thought that we don't want to become a part of sinful life with this Nawab Hussain Shah. So though they were very big posts, chief minister and home minister, prime minister and home minister, that was the post of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami was the prime minister and Rupa Goswami was the home minister. So Rupa Goswami left. And he was fearful of Nawab Hussain Shah, something can do, but still Rupa Goswami left. And then Sanatana Goswami did not left, but he started to not coming for the office. And he sent a message, he's sick. Then Nawab Hussain Shah sent a Vaidya. And when the Vaidya came and saw, Sanatana Goswami was not sick, but Sanatana Goswami was reading there. So before Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Siksha to Rupa Goswami called Rupa Siksha. And he gave him the instruction that and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Rupa Goswami in Prayagraj. Right? Kumbh Mela has happened in Prayagraj. So that was the time of, 1514 or 15 or 14 around. Mahaprabhu met Srila Rupa Goswami, while on the way to Vrindavan, Prayagraj, where Kumbh Mela happened. And Rupa Goswami, and he gave instruction, uncover Krishna's lost pastimes, install deities, write Bhakti Shastras, and propagate the rules of Bhakti Yoga, and live exemplary life. So Rupa Goswami was fainting as Mahaprabhu leaves there. So finally, Mahaprabhu instructed him one-to-one session. It was for 1 month, and then Rupa Goswami fainting as Mahaprabhu is leaving. And Rupa Goswami, there are many pastimes of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, I will discuss shortly. And the Rupa Goswami Samadhi in Vrindavan. So in Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada also says, we are all Rupanugas. Rupanugas means following in footsteps of Rupa Goswami. There. So Golok Vrindavan, see Golok Vrindavan also there's a hierarchy. Like, how many of you want to go to Golok Vrindavan? Please raise your hand if you want to go to Golok Vrindavan at the end of your life. Right. Okay, what the response of others? Some may not know how to raise a hand. So you can type yes. Or some are not sure. Some are not sure or not in a position to raise a hand, it says there. The question is, do you really want to go to Golok Vrindavan? Or only few people are hearing attentively? Yeah. Right, so yeah. So now in Golok Vrindavan, there are Ashtasakis, right? And one Lalita Vishaka Saki. The Lalita Saki's assistant is Roop Manjari. And that Roop Manjari from spiritual world actually came in this world as Roop Goswami. So when you go to spiritual world, we need to assist the Shrimati Radharani's servants. And that's why we always say Gopi Bharta Pad Kamlev Das Das Anudas. Servant of the servant of the servant. And therefore, Rupa Goswami is the leader of all the Goswamis and also leader of the Krishna consciousness movement. Right? There. So there are many pastimes connected to it. So we understand, see, we are hearing all these leelas, we are hearing all these pastimes. There is a goal to it. And what is that goal? To go back home, back to Godhead, to develop prema for Krishna, love for Krishna, because only when we have love for Krishna, we can go to spiritual world. There. So we have lost that love for Krishna. So originally, the soul has that love for Krishna right in his heart. But that love is lost due to the contamination in this material world. So the whole process of bhakti is to take out that love. This is the whole process of bhakti. So when we're chanting the holy names every day, when you're doing, slowly that love for Krishna is getting unfolded. Right? There. And you will see also, initially we will think, oh, whether Krishna is God or not God. What is, there. But as you keep practicing, one firm faith will come. Yes. Krishna is the Supreme Lord and I should worship Krishna. So how many of you feel after over a period of time of chanting, you feel now a deep faith, yes, Krishna is the Supreme Lord and I should serve Krishna with all my life and things there. Yes, if we feel that Krishna is a Supreme Lord, Krishna Bhagwan की ही हम बस पूजा करेंगे. So from where this coming? Because we are following the process. So as we keep following the process, what will happen? In our heart, further it will develop that yes, my only goal of life is to love Krishna. Right? So now we are having that faith कि okay, Krishna is a reality. So eventually we'll also have the faith that Krishna is the goal of my life and I should love Krishna. And that I will awaken with it there. So slowly, as we keep chanting, that gets awakened with it there. Like you see, so many devotees did so much. Now Rath Yatra was there. So many devotees did so many service for Lord Jagannath out of love. So many services they are doing. So why they are doing? Why they are working so hard to please Lord Jagannath? How that bhava has come? Because of chanting over a period of time. So as we are chanting over a period of time, our desire to serve Krishna and the devotees should increase. That should happen. The desire to serve Krishna and the devotees should increase in our life as the time is passing by with it. And that's the love they keep. So if you see, the Rupa Goswami, he actually came to show us how we all can develop that love and go to Golok Vrindavan and serve Radha and Krishna. Right? See, the position of Radha Rani is irreplaceable. It's a fixed position. Nobody can become Srimati Radha Rani. She is the greatest devotee of Krishna and she will always be the greatest devotee of Krishna. It's a fixed position. Radha Krishna, ek atma dhui deha dhari. So initially only Krishna expanded into two, Krishna and Srimati Radharani. There. And same Radharani came as Sri Gaurang Mahaprabhu. But our position is to become assistant of Srimati Radharani in serving Krishna. So somebody may become a Gopabal, like in Golok Vrindavan, a Golabal. There. See, there is 5 kinds of mukti, 5 kinds of positions in Vaikuntha. What are that? Samipya, Sayujya. Sayujya means merging in form of Krishna, which Vaishnavas never take it. We never want to merge in form of Krishna. It's considered spiritual suicide. Then there is a Samipya. One wants to stay near the Lord. Then there is a Salokya. One wants to stay on the same planet as Krishna. Sarupya. One has the same form as Krishna. And then Sashti. One has the same opulence as Krishna. There. So these are the opulences mukti available in Vaikuntha. But higher than Vaikuntha is Golok Vrindavan. In Golok Vrindavan, either somebody becomes a Gola. Gola, Krishna's friend, Sakha, who loves Krishna as a friend. Or somebody becomes elderly Gopas and Gopis who love Krishna as a child. Like Nand Baba and Yashoda. But not exactly Nand Baba and Yashoda, but like Nand Baba and Yashoda. They'll become child of Krishna there. And then after, then some will also become lovers of Krishna like the Gopis, like Srimati Radharani there. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came to give this higher experience of loving Krishna so intimately. This has been never been given. I think I would explain you 2 classes back कि भगवान को अपना सखा मान के, अपना बेटा मान के प्रेम करे, ऐसा कहीं आपने नहीं देखा होगा, कहीं सुना नहीं होगा, right? You go to so many temples in South India. There's only one move. Lord is great, I am small. Right? It's called Aishwarya Bhakti. But then there is a Prema Bhakti in which you love Krishna like a friend, like a lover, or like a father. So this kind of bhakti is only given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this Goswami is written that how can we attain that kind of bhakti? So at present stage, if we imitate like becoming Krishna's friend, people will laugh upon us, isn't it? We can't imitate it. But this Goswamis made a path that how we are doing sadhana bhakti, we can attain a perfected state like the Vrajavasis there. And therefore, if we follow the right conclusion, we know about them, we can know about those higher truths with it there. So hopefully in the Yatra, Guruvayur Yatra we are going, I'll speak something more about in one of the sessions about this. What are this thing? Because these are very, very confidential things there. So to give this confidential teachings, this Goswamis have come. So this Rup Goswami is eternally Rup Manjari in the spiritual world. In fact, one pastime happened also. See, this Goswamis was so powerful. Rup Goswami was sitting in a meditation one day. In meditation, he saw, and in their meditation, they will actually reach Golok Vrindavan. And in meditation, Rup Goswami saw that Krishna is holding Srimati Radharani, and Krishna had put Radharani on a tree, and he ran away. And Radharani is simply hanging there. Seeing this, Rup Goswami was laughing. And in front of that, one leper devotee came. Because one leper devotee came in front of it. So what had happened, because the leper devotee thought the devotee was limping, so he thought that Rupa Goswami is laughing upon me. And because he got hurt, Rupa Goswami's meditation broke. And he went to Sanatana Goswami and asked, why my meditation broke? Then Sanatana Goswami said, you give a feast and whoever devotee doesn't come, understand he got hurt. So Rupa Goswami gave a feast. And only this leper did not come. Then he understood kuch to problem hai. Then he asked it. Then he said, hey, you were laughing upon me. He said, I was laughing on Radha Krishna. Then that devotee was limping. He was saying, I am such a fool. I took such a offense. He's such a great devotee. And things like. So this was the level of this devotees. Goswami was speaking. They were always absorbed in Krishna. So when we are hearing about them, we get to know so many things about them in our spiritual life. So therefore, it's very, very important to know about those devotees there. So till now, any question about the Goswamis before I go ahead? And why we are discussing about this Goswamis? Anyone, any question? And probably those who would have come with us to Vrindavan Yatra would have already heard about this thing. Right? Okay, no questions, so we go ahead. So you want to know more about those Goswamis? If you're inspired by their life, what they are and what they're saying, so let's go ahead. Now, after Rup Goswami left, the Sanatan Goswami was not coming. So Nawab Hussain Shah came at his home. Are, I have to conquer so many kingdoms, and you are simply, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam at your home. And then he said, Sanatan Goswami said, no, whatever you do, I cannot do now more work. I am fully absorbed in Krishna. Then he put Sanatan Goswami in jail. Sanatan Goswami was very intelligent. See, this is the jail where he was put. The jail is still there. So Sanatan Goswami told to the prison person, I am going to Makkah, because he was a Muslim. So please let me go. He said, but Nawab Hussain Shah will come. Then he kept some 10,000 gold coins. And then he let him go. Tell him that when I was going for doing my duties, he drowned in the Ganges. So finally, Sanatan Goswami escaped. While Sanatan Goswami escaped, there was a servant named Ishan who also accompanied Sanatan Goswami. And then Sanatan Goswami going with him, the innkeeper, the hotel wala person, was very sweet. Sanatan Goswami understood something, kuch dal mein kala, something wrong is there. And he asked Ishan, are you carrying some gold coins? So Ishan said, yes, I am carrying 7 gold coins. He gave to Sanatan Goswami. So Sanatan Goswami gave to the innkeeper, sir, we have the 7 gold coins, you please keep it. He said, Are, you gave it. Actually, I was trying to kill you only for this gold coins. Now you keep it. Sanatan Goswami said, if you don't kill me, don't take it, anybody else will keep it, you keep the coin with you there. Then Sanatan Goswami asked, are you still carrying anything? Then Ishan told one more gold coin is there. Then Sanatan Goswami said, you go back, don't carry the death net there. Because see, when you carry money, then only people will trouble you. If you have no money, no trouble. The more you have, the more trouble will happen in this world. If you don't have anything, then no trouble in this world. So Sanatan Goswami said, you keep this gold coin, you'll bring so much trouble. So better you go away from this place. And then Sanatana Goswami met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi. So Rupa Goswami had met in Prayagraj, and Sanatana Goswami met Mahaprabhu in Varanasi. So when Mahaprabhu met Varanasi, that time Sanatana Goswami had a big beard and he was wearing a very costly blanket. You see this? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Tapan Mishra, Chandrasekhar, who was staying, that please go and get one sannyasi, one great devotee has come. But he saw somebody was in Dadi and think, he said, who's the devotee? Then Mahaprabhu said, so now when Sanatana Goswami came, he was in full beard. Nobody could understood he's a great devotee. So you cannot always understand a devotee by his hulya. You get no? But Sanatana Goswami was a great devotee of the Lord. There, he was a great relisher of Srimad Bhagavatam. And both were brothers, Sanatana. Though Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they were at big posts, but they have made Gupta Vrindavan. They always keep discussing about Vrindavan, keep discussing about Krishna's Leela, and that's what they will live their life up to. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again instructed Sanatana Goswami to go and live in Vrindavan. And then Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. Now, what had happened? Sanatana Goswami had gone to Vrindavan, but Rupa Goswami came to Jagannath Puri to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami was living in Sri Jagannath Puri. Then when Rupa Goswami went back, Sanatana Goswami came. So practically both brothers couldn't meet each other for 1-2 years. And then finally Sanatana Goswami went back to Vrindavan. Then both of them met there. And they started their services of making temples, writing books. And that's what the book of Nana Shastra Vicharnike Nipuno Sadharma Sanstapako. They read various scriptures. And they, because scriptures have Karam Kanda also, they have Bhakti also, they have Jnana also, right? So they know scriptures only talking about Bhakti as a Srimad Bhagavatam. And especially when you have to talk about the practice of Bhakti, so they read all the various scriptures and what practices a devotee should perform. They wrote all those books, right? Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Nectar of Instruction. So they are very, very important books for the devotees, right? They are very, very important book for the devotees. So we can learn one lesson that a devotee doesn't depend upon his dress. We can't judge a devotee just by its dress. It's by one's devotion to Krishna one becomes a devotee. There. And bhakti is so nice, anybody could be Krishna's devotee. And Sanatana Goswami, taking a thread, goes to Mahaprabhu. That people call me Pandit, but I'm a fool. I don't know who am I. You please tell me. So this is the way one should approach a senior personality or a guru, that I don't know the knowledge. You please tell. We never show our learned or scholarship before a superior person, before the guru, or before the devotees who are teaching us. And Mahaprabhu again spoke to Sanatana Goswami for 10 days of Dashamyavadha and gave him the whole teaching. And then Sanatana Goswami went to Vrindavan and Mahaprabhu returned back to Puri, Jagannath Puri. There. Now, what had happened? First, Rupa Goswami has gone to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. In Puri, what had happened during Puri Rath Yatra? If you remember the mood of Rath Yatra, I was telling, right? What is the mood of Rath Yatra? Mahaprabhu is in the mood of the gopis to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. So during the Rath Yatra, Mahaprabhu started to sing a song which looked like a filmy song. Did I share that verse last week? That Mahaprabhu spoke like a
Yes, Prabhuji.
during Rath Yatra. So now, nobody could understand why did Mahaprabhu sing. See, those days filmy song is also very exalted song in today's language. It was a play song and thing there. So like it was the same tree, same moonlight night, you're the same Krishna and the same Radha. So like that Mahaprabhu started to sing. But no, none of the devotee understand why do Mahaprabhu singing like this. But what happened? Shri Rup Goswami understood the meaning, what Mahaprabhu said. And then he wrote it that Jagannath is the same Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the same Srimati Radharani. And now Radharani is wanting to take Krishna from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. From Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. So it's the same mood Mahaprabhu is trying to take during Rath Yatra, Jagannath from Kurukshetra or Dwarka to Vrindavan. There. So that is the mode is there. So when Mahaprabhu understood, Are, he said, Are, how did Rupa Goswami know my heart? He told to Saru Damodar Goswami. And Saru Damodar Goswami said, because you have given all your mercy to him, that's how Rupa Goswami know your heart. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mindly starts slapping Rupa Goswami out of love. And that's why we sing the prayer of Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishnu Sthapitam Yen Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Padanti Supadantika. So every time when we offer prayer, this line comes on Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishnu Sthapitam Yen Bhutale. So that line is for Shri Rupa Goswami. Right? So how we should understand this great personalities we are speaking about. So now Sanatana Goswami, while coming, he drank contaminated water on the way. So when he reached Jagannath Puri, he had a sores on his body. But still, and he was staying with Haridas Thakur, still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come and embrace him every day. And the sores from his body will touch the body of Mahaprabhu. And Sanatana Goswami feel very bad that I am committing offense to the Lord. That pus from my body is going to the Lord's body, is going to the deity. Like to the deity, we don't commit any aparadh, isn't it? Don't touch anything bad or something. But Mahaprabhu is embracing Sanatana Goswami and all the pores and oozing and reaching whom? Reaching Sanatana Goswami. There. So Sanatana Goswami said, better either I leave there or I end my life. Sanatana Goswami was feeling, better I end my life under the Rath cart, Jagannath Rath cart, because I am committing more offense. He was just thinking on it. And then Mahaprabhu came and said to Haridas Thakur, this thief wants to steal my property. First, he has surrendered his life to me. And now he has surrendered his body to me. Now, how can he destroy this body? He's a thief. And then Mahaprabhu says, why are you thinking like this? If I get Krishna, then I will give up this body many times. But you can't get Krishna like this. Give up this thought and mode of ignorance. If you see any greatest sin in life is to give up one's body. It's the greatest sin in life. Especially, see, of course, Sanatana Goswami is an exalted devotee. He's thinking, I'm committing offense to the Lord. That's why he want to do. But ordinarily, if you see, the greatest sin in this world is to commit suicide. End one's life. And therefore, a person who commits suicide, he becomes a ghost. And nowadays, small children or people in youth, they have very fickle mind. Anything happen in life, they think better end life. Because they don't understand, they are not his body, their spirit, soul, they are going to suffer after that also there. So it's very, very important to spread this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, to tell people, Baba, who are you? There is a higher purpose of life, and learn to tolerate difficulties in life. Today's modern youth, they only want to see success. They can't tolerate failures. They can't tolerate insults. Somebody insults them, they feel life is ended there only. So they go into so much, and so many, even IITs, there are suicides happening. So many colleges, suicides are happening. So it's very, very important that we spread this awareness and give this Krishna consciousness even to relatives and others, and they understand who we are. There. Actually, it has happened also many times. Gita course is going on, and somebody was going to commit suicide, and he just attended one class, and then his mind changed, and he became a very wonderful devotee. There. Thanks, devotees are distributing book. and somebody was going to commit suicide. We thought, okay, क्या दे रहे हैं एक बार देख लेते हैं. और भगवद गीता पढ़ी, then they got enlightened. They said, अरे we were foolish to do any this act like this there. So that's how people, they go without the purpose of life, and they go into so much difficulties in their life. So something very, very important is how and devotees should help. So finally, Mahaprabhu said, my mother has told me to be in Puri, I'm staying in Puri, but I want you to go to Vrindavan and do my work there. And then Sanatana Goswami started appreciating. Now Mahaprabhu went after that. Then Haridas Thakur started appreciating Sanatana. See, your body is going to be used in Lord's service. Lord count as your body as own. How fortunate you are. And Sanatana Goswami said, Haridas Thakur, you are Namacharya. Lord has come to spread the holy name and he has named you Namacharya. He is doing through you. So this is the mode devotees should glorify each other, right? So when devotees meet each other, they should glorify each other. That is a devotional culture. If you see in material world, when people meet each other, what do they do? When people meet each other, they find fault, pull each other's leg. But devotional culture is when we meet each other devotee, we glorify other devotee, we encourage other devotee. That's a devotional culture. There. So that's how we can see how it's so nice loving dealing between those great devotees, Sanatana Goswami and Haridas Thakur. And this is the Vaishnava Achar. There. Now, if you see then after 1 year, Mahaprabhu came and embraced Sanatana Goswami, and all his pores went by. All his sores got cured just by one embrace of Mahaprabhu. So till now Mahaprabhu did not did. He was enjoying that. And Mahaprabhu said one more thing, that don't feel your sores will trouble my heart. Just like a mother, consider the stool of the child also like Chatushma. The same way, you are all this because you both of you are like my child. Like child. So even your these things appear like Chatushma to me. Like that Mahaprabhu spoke to them. So that how Lord loves his devotees. He doesn't mind anything. And now Sanatana Goswami came to Vrindavan. So one day he was going to take Bhiksha, and while on the way taking the Bhiksha, he saw one boy running. And that boy running entered one home of Purushottam Chobe. And he was taking a stick and telling to his deity, you eat food, otherwise I'll give this stick to you. Sadhu was saying, hey, this is not the way you should treat the deity. Now deity came in the dream of Sanatana Goswami. Are you spoiled his bhakti. Now you only serve me. So next day, then Sanatana Goswami, Lord Madan Mohan, came to Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami was serving Madan Mohan. And one day, Madan Mohan told to Sanatana Goswami, because he will do madhukari, means begging, and then he will get only atta and he will make bati. And he said, why not you give me salt also? Then Sanatana Goswami said, I have so many services given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How will I give you? So that was a loving exchange between Madan Mohan and Sanatana Goswami. But one day, Mr. Kapoor was going on his ship and he has all the salt of his saving in that boat. But Tufan came in Yamuna and his boat got stuck. And he came running where Sanatana Goswami was there. Please help. Sanatana Goswami said, you pray to Madan Mohan. And he prayed to Madan Mohan and all the Tufan stopped. Then he said, what can I do? He said, I don't want anything. You make a temple for Madan Mohan. And that time that Mr. Kapoor built a big temple for Lord Madan Mohan. But Sanatana Goswami lived in a kutir. That opulence for Krishna and poverty for himself. That was the principle for him. So if we think like this, that let us give opulent to Krishna. We should make the Lord, the deity happy. Let for Krishna all facilities be there. Let for devotional service all facilities be there. But I can live very simply. So that mood a devotee should have, and devotee should give charity and magnanimity for serving the Lord. And one should live very simply in life. Then one will feel very satisfied. And one can live simply according to one's level. The Sanatana Goswami was in a renounced order, so he was living simply at his level. And same way, one should live simply in whatever surrounding or order of life one is. So just live a simple life according to one's ashram there. And try to give opulence to Krishna or preaching the message of the Lord. You see, Sanatana Goswami here is writing. So this amazing pastime of Parasmani is there. So one time, one Brahmana was worshipping Lord Shiva for wealth. Lord Shiva appeared, and Lord Shiva said, "You can go to Sanatana Goswami he has a Parasmani. He will give you wealth." So Sanatana Goswami was doing bhajan, and this Brahmana came, "Please give me Parasmani." Sanatana Goswami said, "This Parasmani, you can see Kachre ka dabba, there Parasmani is there." Now, you know what is this Parasmani? You touch this Parasmani to brass, it will become gold. So how many of you want such a money like Parasmani? You touch it to brass, it becomes gold. You have no and you don't have to do job from the next day. Yes. But Sanatana Goswami had put it in Kachre ka dabba. That Parasmani. Can you imagine? And this Brahmana took it. But while the Brahmana was taking it, he thought, he has kept that Parasmani in Kachre ka dabba, he will have some better money with him. If somebody is giving Parasmani in the Kachre ka dabba, that means he will have something better or not? What do you think? So he went. So Sanatana Goswami said, "Yes, I will give you. I have something better than this. But first you throw this Parasmani in Yamuna." And then Brahmana actually threw the Parasmani in Yamuna. And then Sanatana Goswami gave him, you know what he gave? Anybody knows what Sanatana Goswami gave him? Anybody?
Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhuji.
Yes. He told him to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So you can understand how valuable is this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And the Brahmana was finally 46. So he got mercy. See, he got mercy of Lord Shiva. But finally he got mercy through Sanatana Goswami. And Lord Shiva purposefully sent him to Sanatana Goswami. That is love matra sadhu sangha sarasiddhi hoy. So though he went to Sanatana Goswami for that money, still he got perfection of life. That's the amazing part of life. So he will do Giriraj Parikrama every day. Yeah? So I think we'll go to the life of Raghunath Das Goswami. Right? This is Radha Govind temple in Vrindavan. Now Raghunath Das Goswami, his father was very, very wealthy. According to that time, they will have income of 20 lakh gold coin. It means they were more rich than Ambani's. Right? His father was more rich than Ambani. Like that you can understand. He was such wealthy. But he saw Haridas Thakur. He saw Haridas Thakur having so much taste for the holy name. And he thought, what Haridas Thakur has, I don't have. Even so much wealth cannot give me taste what Haridas Thakur is like. From that time, he became mad after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Like, how many of you heard about Pani Hati Chida Dahi festival? And you know the story behind it. You know the story behind Pani Hati festival. Yes. So anyone like to tell the story behind Pani Hati Chida Dahi festival? Anyone like to narrate the story behind Pani Hati festival? Yes. Anyone? Nobody is willing. Okay, Chandan Prabhu, you want to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, yeah. You want to share the story behind Pani Hati festival?
Yes, Prabhu. In brief, it was Raghunath Prabhu. So,
Yeah.
actually, Raghunath Das Goswami tried several times to approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly, which is again an offense because we have to go through a guru, or only after obtaining the mercy of a guru we can approach Krishna. So, in order to also bestow the mercy and show others that we have to come through the guru, so Nityananda Mahaprabhu enacted this pastime, where he taught a lesson as well as he gave a chance for Raghunath Das Goswami to serve all the devotees and thereby satisfy the devotees and the guru, and then achieve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's association or love.
Hmm. Yeah. So as Prabhuji said, so Raghunath Das Goswami, though he had a wife like Sachi and he had wealth like Indra, still he was not happy with that. He wanted to be fully dedicated to the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he attained the greatest nectar. But every time he wanted to run away, his father will catch him. And he was not able to run away from his house there. But so he thought, let me take mercy of Nitan Prabhu. So he went to take the mercy of Nitan Prabhu. Nitan Prabhu said, hey, chor, he has chor. Here is a thief has come. He's running away. And then Mahaprabhu, Nitan Prabhu told, give him a dand, that you feed chila dahi to everybody. Why is a dand? Because he is a very wealthy person. For him, give him to chila dahi is like a, इज्जत चली गई there, because he can give 16 course feast also. But Nityananda as a punishment told him, you feed chidadai to everybody. Chidadai is very simple for that, and he feed, and so many devotees came to feed there. And then he got mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And then this time somehow he escaped his house and reached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and lived in Puri under the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not. So before, when he wanted to leave home and come, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't be a market Vairagi. Monkey is also a Vairagi, right? But monkey has many dozen she monkeys with the monkey, isn't it? There. So that is who. So don't be market Vairagi. Better be a man of pounds and shillings. So he took care of his father's business also very nicely. But even after taking care of father's business for a few years, still his heart did not went into business. Finally, he wanted to attain the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, we cannot imitate this pastime, right? So after hearing somebody said, "Oh, I am also not liking my family life, let me leave," that's not allowed. See, there were great Goswamis coming, Nitya Siddhas, coming directly from the spiritual world for some other purpose, for a higher purpose. So therefore, Mahaprabhu allowed them. But normally, nobody is told that you live your family life and join. That is called irresponsibility. But they were great devotees of the Lord, and they never fine. So they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, and then Rup Goswami every day will pay 1,000 obeisances to deities and 3,000 obeisances to devotees. And he will just simply live on begging. And his standard of austerity was very, very high. And finally, he lived near Radhakund. And he was so absorbed in bhajan, he'll completely forget himself. To such an extent, one day he was chanting, and Radharani was taking her pallu and protecting Raghunath Das Goswami. And Sanatan Goswami was passing by. He said, make a kuti. You're taking service from Srimati Radharani. They're supposed to serve Srimati Radharani. They're taking service from Srimati Radharani. Other time Raghunath Goswami was chanting and Krishna was taking a stick and protecting Raghunath Goswami from tigers. Then also Sanatana Goswami said, "Arey, why are you taking service from Krishna?" Then he made a kutir for himself. Yes. So these devotees are completely absorbed in Radha Krishna there. So they are the great Goswami. So I talked only about three Goswamis. I couldn't talk about Jeev Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, and Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. So there's a detail. Maybe some other time we'll speak about this. It's already 9 p.m. But there's a great nectar about the stories of this Goswamis and things. And next week, we are going to discuss about Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Krishnadas Babaji, and other this acharyas who appeared between Goswamis and Srila Prabhupada there, which is also very important for us to know about this great there, right? Okay, so now is the time for question answers. Anybody wants to ask questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Sanatana Goswami, he is a very exalted soul. Even though for small incident, he wants to give up his body. Being normal persons like me, how can we get out of some situations where we become very low and down and thinking about why this
Yeah.
life? So how, Prabhu, how to
We go
overcome
into depression, yeah. See, Sanatana Goswami, ending his body was out of devotional sentiment, not out of frustration. Right? It was a devotion, and he was thinking to give up his life under the chariot of Lord Jagannath there. And Mahaprabhu stopped him. Mahaprabhu understood his mind and stopped him. And why he was thinking, I'm doing offense to the Lord. Actually, Sanatana Goswami is a liberated soul. Though there are sores on his body, he's not worried about the sores. He's only worried about offending Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Are you able to understand this point?
Once again, Prabhu, can you explain a little?
He's a liberated soul, Jivan Mukta.
Yes,
He doesn't have any bodily consciousness, Sanatana Goswami. But, and he is not concerned about his source also. Though he's suffering with that cirrhosis, he's not concerned about it. He's only concerned that I'm offending Mahaprabhu.
Okay. Okay.
So if I keep living, I will keep offending more. So that was thinking. So he is not thinking in terms of bodily concept of life. Now, whereas our downs or depression in life is due to bodily concept of life. Because जो हम चाहते हैं हमारे शरीर के लिए, हमारे रिलेटिव्स के शरीर के लिए, वो नहीं हुआ तो हम डिप्रेशन में चले जाते हैं. Or we are not secure in life. Yes or no? Or our ego is hurt. So that is bodily concept of life. So to the degree we become more spiritual,
Okay.
we chant nicely, we'll able to tolerate the ups and downs of things. Especially in family life, you have to tolerate the nature of the other person, which is the greatest sacrifice in family life. You know, the real yajna is tolerating each other's nature in family life. Agree or not?
Yes, Prabhu.
So though I've never been in family life and neither want to be, but I've seen the families and seen my home situations. It's not always easy to tolerate each other's nature in family life, and you don't have any choice. And that's where so much comes. It may be husband, wife, it may be mother-in-law, father-in-law, it may be children. Anybody can create a trouble for you when the nature doesn't match. But that is a real sacrifice because that is our own karma which is coming. So many times today youngsters are fearing entering family life. Right? Many girls don't want to family life. They fear what will happen if we get married. कैसा लड़का मिलेगा? Or boys don't want to marry. कैसी लड़की मिलेगी and things there. So much fear is there in people. But one thing you have to understand: the life is meant for purification. Our ego will see. We will find Krishna only when our ego is purified, and the family members are just the instruments of our purification.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Right. So the moment you and even they may be devotees also. still purification will happen. You know why? Because two subtle bodies are coming together. When you live closely, two subtle bodies come together. Then they will have darshan with each other. Now, because we are not liberated souls, isn't it? So they will be, even as devotees, there will be fault in the subtle body of two devotees staying together. And those faults will rub with each other. And then there will be friction. Then there will be chingari. Then there will be spark. So many things will go by. But the best thing is keep tolerating that and go ahead and life. So therefore, husband and wife who spend 20, 30 years, devotee husband and wife, or non-devotee husband and devotee wife, they spend time together tolerating each other. You develop a lot of maturity in a spiritual life. You have a lot of maturity in life. It was not easy to deal with that false ego. And that false ego purification is must to attain Krishna prema. Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you can make a lot of progress in a spiritual life through the troubles of family life. If you remember this one verse, Tatyanukampaha Susamakshamano Gonjanevam Katam Vipaka Hitavagmapuvi Vidha Namaste Jivedamatipada Sadayava. That Brahma is saying, if a person thinks that whatever is coming in my life, he pray for Lord's mercy, wait for Lord's mercy, but he is grateful to the Lord for whatever is coming and keep doing his devotional service, he claims a rightful claim to the kingdom of God. Because what is happening? Our previous karma is coming to us. But the problem is we are creating a new karma when we react to it. And when we react to it and create a new karma, then we get further karma. Then we take another birth. But if we keep grateful for whatever is coming, we don't create further karma. And then you go back home, back to God. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Nice explanation, Prabhu.
So if you follow, so there's a whole video. Karma is a nice teacher.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes. Any other question? Keshav Yanipur has that why do meditation? See, even just to show that how we should not hurt any devotee. We want to progress in spiritual life. So we should be careful of Vaishnava. So there was no fault on the part of Rupa Goswami. Yes. Any other question? Okay. I thought to maybe, so many devotees give feedback how things we can improve and what they're liking the session. And maybe those who couldn't speak, if anyone of you want to ask or give your feedback what way we can improve and how the sessions are helping you, so that will be helpful, and then we'll close. So probably, so those we have interactions before, you can leave, and those who want to interact now or share your thing, you can stay back. So I think many devotees we already have. So